we will do to this so bad. But let's get back to the discussion. I'm the anchor. I'm not supposed to show emotions. I'm just supposed to tell you what the story is about and then ask the questions. So back to the story. It was Adachukwu's parents who connected Ifeoma and Adachukwu in less than 2 weeks of taking Happiness in. Adachukwu molested her. Adachukwu claimed she told Happiness to bathe her 8-year-old boy and she fondled with his private part. So this is me also asking, is it possible to bathe a child and not bathe or wash the child's private parts? Adachukwu used iron to burn Happiness' buttocks. She also used fire to hit a knife and inserted it into the little girl's private part. Happiness told us that she chained her, locked her in the house, and starved her of food and water. Then Adachukwu called Ifeoma and ordered her to take Happiness back with her. Adachukwu threatened Ifeoma that she would deal with her and use her influence as a lawyer if she misbehaved. Use her influence as a lawyer. Kindly underline that part. If she misbehaved. Now, the bottom line is this domestic help was only handed over to her in the month of January, just last month. I have a problem with people who taking minors as domestic help because in my head, this person is supposed to just come and live with you and you cater to the person and assign the person age-appropriate chores. But relying on this person as a domestic help to do what exactly? What happened to adults? But then again, that's a total conversation for another day. Let's focus on this one. We've also heard stories of police officers involved in armed robbery, involved in kidnapping, involved in extortion, involved in bribery and corruption, and these are supposed to be enforcers of the law. Am I right? So we're looking at upholders of the law and enforcers of the law together. The Anambra State government have actually said something about it. In fact, the Anambra State governor, she was on the run, by the way, so efforts are being made to look for her and, of course, bring her to book. Governor Soludo reacts, his Anambra lawyer inserts, so all of that is that about that. You can get the full story if you go to Premium Times now. Let me just give you some search ideas. You can look for Anambra begins persecution of for the Vanguard is outcry trails child abuse by an Anambra lawyer / pastor. From Premium Times is Anambra. Sorry, my screen is frozen. I can't really get the details. But this is my question to you again. Should the same punishment for ordinary people be meted on upholders and enforcers of the law when they err, or should they be given harsher punishments? Let's talk. 070 0923 0923 070 0923 0923. We have 0817 923 0002. That is 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809 030 6416. Again, WhatsApp and Telegram number 0809 030 6416. If you're unable to get through to us via the phone lines, send us a message. A call screener is in standby to take your calls first before passing you on to me in the studio. So when you do call, the first voice you hear will not be my voice, but that of the call screener. All you need to do is leave your name and location, and in no distant time, you'll be connected with me in the studio. Young from Elelewa. Hi, Young. Welcome to the sunny side.
Yes, Dennis, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Young. How are you doing today?
Very well. How are you? That's what.
I'm good. Talk to me.
Okay. Well, the truth is that you can't, like, even in the Bible, the Bible states that judgment is going to come first to the church, to the pulpit, to the altar, it's natural justice, it's natural law that you that knows the truth, you that knows the law, you should be served more. That's the truth. You shouldn't, because the other person, the other defaulter of the law that is ignorant of the law. God doesn't know the law, but you know. It's not that you claim to know. You are taught. So you should serve more. That's the truth.
Okay. So those who know the law should serve more than those who...
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Young. Zion is calling from GRA. Hi, Zion. Welcome to the sunny side. Talk to me.
Good afternoon to you, and thank you for this discourse.
Yeah, welcome, and good afternoon to you too.
Such act should be perceived and be described as mutiny.
As what?
Mutiny.
Mutiny, okay.
Section 44, which is 44 of the Criminal Code Act in Nigeria, not in America, Nigeria, invited to mutiny. What is mutiny? When you is trying to oppose your superior in some certain degree, the punishment sometimes is death sentence. In some degree, it's death sentence. So if a police is caught kidnapping somebody, his death should be death sentence. A policeman is seen collecting money from your hand, it should be death sentence. You went to the police station to bail someone and the police said bring the money. Whether there is a receipt or no receipt, but did you pay money for bail? Can you prove it? Did you give him? Yes, death sentence. It was your authority. You are the one that should interpret the law, and you are the one committing the crime. This way, you see this country in Nigeria, we are very funny people. In the north, we practice a penal code. In the southeast, we practice what we call the criminal code. Is it not funny? We are very, very funny people. The truth is this. As you that knows the law, there are certain things you shouldn't do. As both of us is okay now, if I use certain words on air, this way you cut me up.
Definitely.
Why should you cut me up? Because I've been calling on radio stations for many years now, and you believe and you said that I should know that certain words, it shouldn't be Mr. Zion now. Maybe this guy should use this kind of word. Is it also?
Maybe.
But I call now, and my radio volume is, there's an altercation, and there's that screeching noise. It's Mr. Zion. Mr. Zion now. You are. But if it's a newcomer, a new caller, we give him that few seconds of grace. You will beg them, turn down your volume. Is it not so? Why were you strict to me? Because you said that I should know. I shouldn't do this. I've been calling on radio stations. I should know at least some etiquette that are applicable for a smooth conversation. Then how could those who have been given the power to execute, number one, to prosecute, number two, to arrest, number three, to investigate, number four, commit such act? You see, military personnel, look at the very careless comment. I will shoot you and nothing will happen.
All right, thank you, Mr. Zion. I have Christian from Borikiri. Hi, Christian. Welcome to the sunny side. Talk to me.
Good afternoon. This is Christian.
Christian, you're welcome.
For me, that person should take the punishment. Should take more of the punishment than the person who don't know the law. So, and another thing I have to say is, all these parents who are giving this minors to this kind of people as house help or what?
Well, the truth.
Somebody you know that is not up to going for a house help. You are meant to take care of this person, and you are giving her out as a house help. I even blame the parents of those people. I blame the parents of that child, because I cannot have that kind of child and send her out.
Mr. Christian,
to do what exactly?
Mr. Christian,
what is it?
You know, like I said, that's a conversation for another day. Because in my head, I'm thinking, if she could do this to a 10-year-old, it means even if it was someone older, a wicked person is a wicked person. A bad person is a bad person.
For me, it's really unfortunate, because we're hearing this kind of story in this country. Somebody who knows the law, now the person breaking the law. And why is she running away? She knew that what she did was very, very terrible and wrong. She should come back and face this and take the punishment. Why is she running? Well, for me,
you know they usually say something like this. I don't know what came over me. Or they say something like this. It's the work. It happened in Anambra State. It happened in Anambra State.
Imagine?
And the state government is my pleasure. I intend to follow this story through to the end, but guess what? Of course, she needs to face the law, but someone will need to defend her. She will get someone that will defend her, and the person that will defend her, knowing that what she did was wrong, and in fact she did it. That's a conversation for another day. Remember when we talked about criminal defense and how ethical and appropriate it was for people to know that someone indeed committed a crime, and then they still go ahead to try to defend them, to get them to be innocent, discharged and acquitted, or even get a lesser sentence for them, pointing this and pointing that, subsection this, subsection that, blah 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 blah. Well, you all said that well it was somehow. I think we need to go back to that conversation again. Good afternoon, Denise. My name is Denise. For every time I'm on air, I would be referred to as Denise, not Mrs. Wallow. Thank you so much. This is a professional setting. This totally wickedness. Let government punish this thing that she do to that poor girl, Patoki from Orazi. All right, thank you so much, Patoki. This other message says, hold on. Madam, all these demonic behaviors, ordinarily a reasonable adult should know his or her right from the left. Law is made for correction. Confidence, Ilebeding from Ozuzu Eche. I'm not sure I understand, but moving on. Good afternoon, Denise. The lawyer should face the law more than ordinary citizens who may not know all the law says. But if I catch her with my hand, law no go even see her face safe. I'm wisdom from Rumo Domaya. Victoria David says the woman in question is not only a lawyer but also a pastor. She doesn't have the fear of the Lord, and not to talk about the use of the law. If you're just joining us, we're talking harsher punishments for upholders and enforcers of the law. And I just shared with you a very sad and emotional story about what a lawyer in Anambra State did to her domestic help. She is currently on the run. I don't know if she has been found, but I know that plans are being made to prosecute her, as the Anambra State government is in on the said matter. What did she do? The 10-year-old or 11-year-old was bathing the 8-year-old son of this woman, and according to the woman, she touched the boy's private part. And for that reason, she got hot iron, burnt her buttocks, got a hot knife, and inserted it into the girl's private part. And after she did it, this was what an eyewitness said. She called the family of the person that brought the girl to come and take the girl. And then she said that she was going to use the law. My screen is acting up, so I want to say a word for it. And she was also going to use that same law to her advantage, to deal with. So that alone does not even show any sign of remorse. And that is why I'm asking, should upholders and enforcers of the law be giving harsher punishment when they err, or the same punishment that should be meted to others is enough to actually teach them or correct them? Because there's also another conversation as to whether or not punishment are meant for correction or teaching lessons. Okonkwo from Rumokuta, welcome to the sunny side.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sister Gigi.
Good afternoon to you, Brother Okonkwo.
Thank God for today being Thursday. Sister Gigi, have you not heard of the conflicting and contradictory legal opinions and judgments within the circle of our judiciary? Just like one caller said, when she will call another lawyer to defend her, eventually the end might be that she did not commit the crime and she will be sent free, because this group of lawyers will say she committed, the other one will say she did not commit. Go to this court. This court will give order. Another court will not watch that order and set that order aside. Go to another court. They come with another opinion. They set the other one aside. So it's all like the legal dancing without legal conclusion. We will see how the matter is. You are in Nigeria, you see how that matter will end.
But there is evidence beyond reasonable doubt that she indeed did it. In fact, the fact that she's on the run in a way also shows how guilty she is. There are the markings, there are the scars. The girl is currently in the hospital receiving treatment. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. But beyond who will defend her, because every criminal is entitled to getting a lawyer. I mean, at least that one is universal. So yes, people even go as far as defending themselves. They cannot get a lawyer to defend them. But the truth of the matter is, when it comes to punishment, with the evidence before us, or with the evidence before a court of competent jurisdiction, stating clearly that this woman has indeed committed an offense, and then there is a stipulated punishment for that same offense, should it be same as what an ordinary person, maybe you and I, that just did it to our domestic help, or whatever the crime is? It may not just be about this kind. I mean, lawyers commit the same way police officers or other law enforcement agencies commit crime, the same way ordinary citizens commit crime. But for every crime, there is a punishment. But should the punishment be the same? That's the question. Or should it be more?
That's what I'm saying. Just like as you have mentioned evidences, in the complex court of jurisdiction, are there substantial evidences or unsubstantial? Because court be substantial. Okay,
let it be established that there is substantial evidence pointing to her as guilty. Take note of the word guilty. Should it be same punishment or a higher punishment?
The whole situation is that we are watching to see what will happen.
No,
we should be able to know in this situation we only build on God's natural and moral law.
Mr. Okonkwo, leave the nation. It's a direct question. Should it be the same punishment, whatever the judgment turns out to be, but on a not just for this lady? I think the problem we have with your contribution, or what I have with your contribution, is like you're focused on this lady alone, when there are several other people still within our category that are committing crimes as we speak. So look at it on a general note as opposed to focusing on this lady and her crime alone.
Don't forget that there must be legal ruling before we talk of punishment. If there's no ruling, there will be no punishment.
So when there is indeed, I think at this point when there is a ruling, I mean, it's a direct question. At some point, we should just go head on and answer the question as opposed to, I understand. Okay, you make a good argument, quite all right. But sometimes you don't answer the question at the end of the day, and it sort of drags the conversation. Now, this one is from good afternoon, Didi. To whom much is given, much is deserved, right? Now, if I break the law that I am supposed to be a custodian of, with all amounts of intentionality, is that not mockery of the system? If learning and training that I went through cannot make me a different person, irrespective of my personality, then something big is wrong. Sometimes I teach both the church and conventional school. My gain currently is that what I taught people is what I practice. Because my punishment is greater as a teacher, according to the scripture. So the punishment of the custodian of the law should be heavier. Thank you. I'm Sogi Fubara from Port Harcourt. Many mental health issues wearing clean clothes. For someone to do that to a younger girl surely needs counseling and therapy. It's sad what people do to poor people. May God save the Nigerian child from the madness in our system. Harsher punishments for upholders and enforcers of the law is the conversation. If you're just joining us, welcome to the sunny side. If you're in with us from the beginning, thank you for staying tuned to us. I started off by saying that Thomas Jefferson once said ignorance of the law is no excuse in any country. If it were, the laws will lose their effect because it can always be pretended. What that simply means is I may commit a crime and then I say, hey, I'm not aware, I didn't know, J. There are lots of people that are aware, that knew, that will break the law and claim they were ignorant. True or false? But what happens when those who know the law, they know it? It's just like someone in the judiciary clearly knows what the law says. They are the judicial arm of government. They're supposed to provide checks and balances and all of that. Go to break law. Those who can clearly interpret the law, know the punishment side by side. They have it by heart. It's just like when, give me a popular scripture. Okay, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, and whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. As popular, you have it in your heart. I mean, some of us were introduced to that scripture from when we were very tender, but up until this age, we cannot forget. It's the same thing as some people cannot forget some scriptures of the Holy Quran, or a scripture like Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd. It's just the same way some of us have the national anthem. There are some things that it's when you need somebody to interpret something to you, you go to these people. True or false? So when you're unclear about something, if you want to purchase a property and you want to do it the right way, you get a property lawyer, because that person is grounded in such things. That person would advise accordingly and tell you, oh, if you do it like this is what will happen. If you do it like this, it's illegal. You'll be punished in this type of way and that type of way. All right? If you want someone to defend you, you go to these people. If you need, something to be right in your area in cases of insecurity, and there is someone who is probably the one spearheading the crime in your area, you go to the police, because crime is an offense. Crime is against the law. So you go to the police, and then they will come and enforce the law. So these two people, or people within the legal field and the people in the law enforcement fields, they are supposed to. They're the ones that will tell you, you criminal. You stole. They're the one that will now take you to court, and you go answer question, and they will bring this witness and that witness and the other. They're responsible for persecuting and arresting people who break the law. What if they break the law themselves? Should it be same punishment? Should it be higher? Or should it be otherwise? Their punishment should not be that which is outlined in the law, but something as decided unanimously by the aggrieved parties. A particular lawyer did something very bad to a domestic help, a minor. and then she ran away. I think I was looking for her exact words. She said she threatened the lady that brought the girl that she would deal with her and use her influence as a lawyer if she misbehaved. Should harsher punishments be meted to upholders and enforcers of the law when they err? We're on a commercial break. When we come back, conversation continues and we round up. Stay tuned to us.
Stay with us. Nigeria Info. We'll be back.
People share fake news simply because they fail to think sufficiently about whether or not the content is accurate when deciding what to share.
Fake news can cause conflict, which can lead to violence, destruction of properties, and even death.
Some people create fake news intentionally to cause chaos and harm, mislead others, and delegitimize key democratic institutions.
Do not share any message without verifying the source. You could be misleading others.
If you cannot independently verify that story, don't share it.
Read, verify, and confirm before you share. This message is brought to you by the Center for Democracy and Development, CED, with support from the National Endowment for Democracy, NED.
For Chubaba live at Club Euphoria.
Korakot, 11th of February, yours truly coming through. Euphoria, happy new year, no catch up. Let's enjoy ourselves.
Come vibe with the best DJ, hype man, and comedy by Baba Funky at Club Euphoria.
33B Rumola Stadium Link Road, Port Harcourt. Date February 11th. Red carpet 6 p.m. Table regular 500,000 naira. VIP 1 million naira. VIP 1.5 million naira. Call 0916 642 2802.
Don't miss it. We are back. This is your number one talk station. Nigeria Info.
I may not be able to take any more calls. Just a few seconds, please, as I try to access your messages. My name is David. McDon Emmanuel on Facebook says, yes, they deserve it. They are to lead by example. They deserve what exactly? My name is David from Port Harcourt. What's going on? May God help us in this world. I have been saying it. I've been saying that only God knows how he created women while the men were asleep. Most of these grievous crime is almost always gender-based. Her punishment should be greater and heavier than ordinary. Greater and heavier than ordinary. This is according to David. Beyond her position, beyond here, she's a pastor. She's a human being. But this is pure wickedness. Very, very wicked. I mean, we cannot sugarcoat it. It's wickedness in the highest order, if you ask me. Now, good afternoon to you and welcome. Turn up your radio set, please.
Okay. I just have one thing to add to this conversation, which is very, very embarrassing. I think a lawyer to do this is like taking your wig and gown and setting it ablaze. To me, I am sorry to say this. That hot thing she put in that girl's private part should also be bought and put inside her private part. I will give my number, then I will come and defend whosoever will do that to her.
Wow.
So that she can also feel the pain.
Wow.
As a human being, she has a child or children. If somebody does that to his child or children, will she be happy? What she did to that child, then I will give me a number, private chat, so that I will defend whosoever will do that. It is wrong.
Okay. Thank you so much for your contribution. Crime does not pay. It's clearly evil. You shouldn't do it.
Set your time on Nigeria Info, the correct time.
Trending Stories comes up next, and afterwards, the sunny side continues. Just stay tuned to us.